Hi, my name is Vishal Shirke and I've been working with IIFL for the past 2 years at the position of Vice President CRM. I had the CRM practice there, which means I handle the entire implementation and support across businesses, right? IIFL is an NBFC established in 1996 and it has been going since last 25-26 years. They have got a diversified business, so they started with information services and later on expanded into securities and lending and insurance, right? As the business expands, the challenge starts in terms of automation and centralization, and we were going through the same phase, right? So for example, typically the sales activity where there is a lot of documentation which has been collected was not maintained at a central repository. It was maintained locally, and then again sharing of these documents, access of these documents was a major challenge, right? Plus a lot of documents not being collaborated with other ecosystem, right, in terms of integration. So that was a challenge there. Lot of data getting leaked was also a challenge there. So we were looking for a solution which is centralized, right, where people can store their documents, which is also part of the workflow, right, which is part of the sales or marketing or customer service workflow, and at the same time it is also secured, right? So that was primarily the focus, and we were looking for these options, which actually Zoho has resolved. The good part about WorkDrive is it is kind of integrated within Zoho One, right? So any other primary applications where I want to integrate with Zoho Drive, it is easier. For example, typically in my sales activity where documents are collected against a lead or a prospect or a contact, it becomes very easier to kind of just connect or integrate, and that happens through configuration. So that is one part. The second is it's a central repository, right? So managing that through role profiles internally and externally is equally important there, and it is manageable through WorkDrive. Plus there are a lot of features which we are still exploring. For example, syncing up with my local drive. So where typically the sales and my technology team, when they're working, they should be able to sync up from WorkDrive and work on it, so that the two-way sync happens from both the sides. Since we have Zoho One Suite, right, which has got around 40 plus applications, and Zoho Drive being one of them, it becomes easier to integrate, right? That's the good part about Zoho, where the internal systems are collaborated and integrations becomes very much easier and quick to use, right? So typically our process is driven by sales and support kind of thing, where a lot of document flows to and fro internally and externally. Zoho Drive plays a very important role there. Plus, just to add, we recently did a migration, where huge chunk of documents moved from one cloud to another cloud, I would say one data center to another data center, and it was a challenge. But being centrally stored gave us an advantage, and that was an easier task for migration team also.